Have you ever forgave someone, but yet even though you forgave them, every time you see them or every time their name comes up, you still feel it? And you get a little confused thinking, why does this keep coming up when I forgave them? What is it in me that just won't release it? It's interesting, but it's very common. And what that is we hold events, situations, traumas, really at a deep level. It's at a cellular memory. So although the conscious mind says, I forgive so-and-so for doing this, I'm letting it go, there's a part, that energy that hasn't fully released. Sometimes it releases in stages, and you can do different methods to help release it using affirmations. I'm ready to release this pain. I'm setting myself free. I'm setting that person free. First off, the fact that you're wanting and doing the action to forgive someone or yourself is amazing. So give yourself a pat on the back. Next, there are some people that do the actions and they can't release, and then they get frustrated. Well, be patient and compassionate with yourself, because there are layers to healing. At that cellular level, there are different processes that can allow you to go deep within. Now, I'll give you an example. There was a client, actually, many clients have issues they don't want to forgive or they have forgiven. First off, I always say it's very important to forgive, because if you don't forgive someone, it's like you're drinking the poison expecting them to suffer. Forgiveness heals and releases you, and it releases that person. Why would you ever want to hold a grudge? Most people that hurt us do it unconsciously. They're at a level of consciousness. They may not be fully awake. They may not be fully aware. Sometimes people hurt us and they don't even know they hurt us. And they treat us like nothing's wrong. And we're like, what? Don't you remember what you said or you did to me? How did you let it go? I'm still festering with it. Because it's in my energetic field. It's a part of my trauma. It's a part of experience I didn't enjoy. Now, healing happens layer by layer. And I know this frustrates people. But childhood traumas heal layer by layer. Also, forgiveness heals layer by layer. But sometimes we want to get to the root of that issue. Use affirmations. Do some energy work. Go into meditation with the intent to let something go. During my course that I've developed, there is a theme on forgiveness, because sometimes we have to go to that cellular level and release it. I'm going to give you an example here. I once had a client that was going to meet a bunch of friends that she usually meets, and they've been childhood friends. But she told me at the beginning of our session that one of these friends hurt her horribly. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was a pretty deep pain that happened from her friend's betrayal. She forgave her friend. But what she noticed is anytime she was going to go meet that group of girls and that friend was going to be there, she says, there's parts of my body that still feel resistance to seeing her. Now, she was talking about it, and to me, it was up for release during the session. So during her one-on-one session with me, she released that and so much more. Usually we heal by layers, and in layers there's thousands of things. Sometimes it's 1% of this, 20% of this, 100% of that. It seemed like whatever was residual in her not able to forgive came up during that session and dissolved, transmuted, left her system. It wasn't something we intended for. It's just the higher self prepared her, and it was in her field, so she was talking about it. Anyway, it released. The neat thing was, after the session, she went to go meet that group of people. That person was there. She reported that this was the first time in 9 years where she really felt love for her at every part of her being for her friend again. She said, when we embraced, you could feel the shift, like I really forgave her for the first time. She said, my friend felt it. Our other friends felt it. And we all sat there and cried together because it was finally released. Now, was it me that released it? No. When I work with people, I create a safe space. A beautiful energy comes in. Beings of light come in. But what the client is ready to release is what they're ready to release. And what determines it is their higher self. We can bring intentions. We can speak to our higher self and say, I really am ready to let this go. We can do the work. But sometimes it's just without any explanation, without any working hard, it releases it. And you can tell when you've really forgiven someone because that replay is now gone. That angst is now gone. It's like you've been reset to a moment of time where it almost never existed. So forgiving oneself is so important. Do the work to forgive, but be patient and compassionate if those old memories come up, those feelings in your body come up. We are multidimensional beings, and sometimes those hurts trigger all these other types of hurts. So as we're healing layer by layer, we finally get to the root, the bottom of it, which sets us free from it. If you have any questions about forgiveness, let me know. If you have any comments how you were able to forgive somebody who hurt you deeply, let me know.